In a significant diplomatic encounter on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, the United Arab Emirates Foreign Minister, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, held a high-profile meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The meeting, which comes amid heightened regional tensions, focused primarily on the ongoing war in Gaza, where months of violence have devastated civilian life, drawn international condemnation, and unsettled regional powers, including the UAE. According to diplomatic sources, Sheikh Abdullah conveyed Abu Dhabi's growing concern over the continuation of hostilities in Gaza, stressing that the humanitarian crisis is worsening daily and threatening to destabilize not only Palestine but the broader Middle East. The UAE, which normalized ties with Israel in 2020 under the Abraham Accords, has attempted to strike a delicate balance between maintaining strategic relations with Israel and responding to mounting pressure from the Arab world to stand firmly with the Palestinian people. During the meeting, Sheikh Abdullah reportedly urged Netanyahu to take concrete steps toward halting military operations and entering into serious negotiations for a sustainable ceasefire. He emphasized the importance of protecting civilians, ensuring humanitarian aid reaches Gaza without obstruction, and beginning a credible political process that could revive hopes for a two-state solution. For the UAE, the stakes are high. As one of the first Arab nations to formally recognize Israel in recent history, Abu Dhabi has sought to position itself as both a bridge builder and a pragmatic actor in Middle Eastern politics. However, the Gaza conflict has placed the Emiratis in a challenging position. On one hand, they seek to maintain strong economic, technological, and security cooperation with Israel. On the other, they cannot ignore widespread anger across the Arab and Muslim world over Palestinian suffering. Netanyahu, for his part, defended Israel's military actions as necessary for national security and counterterrorism objectives. He argued that Hamas and other militant groups in Gaza continue to pose an existential threat to Israel's safety, and that any premature ceasefire would embolden extremist factions. Nevertheless, diplomatic insiders suggested that the Israeli leader listened carefully to the UAE's concerns, aware that the Abraham Accords risk losing regional legitimacy if Arab states appear sidelined or complicit in Palestinian hardship. The timing of this meeting is also critical. International pressure on Israel has been intensifying, with humanitarian organizations warning of catastrophic consequences in Gaza if the war drags on. The United Nations has repeatedly called for restraint, while major powers, including the United States, have urged Israel to adopt more proportional responses and allow for expanded humanitarian relief operations. Against this backdrop, the UAE's intervention is part of a broader regional push to prevent the conflict from spiraling into a prolonged and uncontrollable crisis. Analysts believe the UAE's message carries weight because of its unique role in the Middle East. Unlike traditional Arab powers that have historically avoided close ties with Israel, the Emirates have cultivated a reputation as pragmatic negotiators. Their ability to speak candidly with both Israeli and Palestinian representatives places them in a position to influence outcomes, even if modestly. The Emiratis are also concerned that the Gaza war could spill over into Lebanon, the Red Sea, or the wider Gulf region, disrupting trade and energy routes that are vital for global stability. Still, challenges remain. Netanyahu's political standing at home relies heavily on appearing tough on security, while internal Israeli politics leave little room for compromise. Meanwhile, Palestinian leadership is divided, with the Palestinian Authority struggling for legitimacy and Hamas determined to maintain armed resistance. These dynamics complicate any meaningful progress toward peace. Nonetheless, the meeting in New York underscores that Arab voices, particularly those of nations with normalized ties to Israel, are unwilling to remain silent. Sheikh Abdullah's call for an end to the Gaza war sends a clear message: regional stability cannot be achieved without addressing Palestinian grievances and ensuring their rights and safety. The coming weeks will reveal whether this diplomatic intervention translates into tangible steps. For now, the UAE has drawn a line, advocating not only for humanitarian relief but also for a renewed commitment to dialogue. Whether Netanyahu and his government heed that message remains to be seen, but the meeting highlights the fragile balancing act between war and diplomacy at the heart of the Middle East today.